Ventus Wyvern of Wind and Aquos Wyvern of Water both recently got buffed for basically the same reason. They're from a control-oriented group of cards called the Wyvern subset, and they're two of the premier cards that help give the deck that title. In Summoner's Nexus, the digital indie trading card game that I've been working on for the last 3 years, cards move across the board with the intention of making it to the other end of the board to deal damage. Ventus has the ability to return a card on the field back to the point where it originally started on the board, resetting its journey, while Aquos can freeze it in place for a turn and prevent it from battling. Now, naturally, if left unchecked, those effects have the potential to ruin your opponent's gameplay experience by stopping them from playing the game. So I put limits on them. One of my biggest goals as a game designer is to make sure that there is as much interaction between the players as possible, which is why we barely even have negates in this game. So both Ventus and Aquos had the restriction placed on them that they would have to set their current stats to 0 in order to activate their effects. This meant that not only could you only use the effects once unless you managed to find a way to boost your stats back up to be able to reduce them again, but it also meant that these already weak cards became borderline useless and vulnerable should they ever use their effects. Now, I'm all about protecting fun for the players playing my game, but in my view, this took the fun out of it for the player piloting the deck, as it may not feel like a fair trade to pay a card's summoning cost just for its own ability to then make it worthless. To fix this, I changed the clause attached to the effect. You see, instead of reducing the card's stats, I just put a once only clause on those effects, since that was the intended outcome of the first change anyway, to make it so that they couldn't do it infinitely. Now they can be played a lot more comfortably, and I think both players will have a much better time when these cards hit the field.